You know, when it comes to, like, say, the month of October, and, you know, all that, there's always been the idea, let's release a horror movie in October. Spooky season, you know? So, we're gonna try something different. We're gonna try and talk about, like, the top 5 highest grossing horror franchises. So, let's not waste any time, let's get started! Like, the first one that we're gonna be looking at is the Saw franchise. And you're probably feeling like, wait, what, Saw? Really? Well, there is a reason why this franchise, like when it was, like, you know, when back in the 2000s, it must be Halloween. Wait, if it's Halloween, it must be Saw. That was one of the taglines for I think it was Saw 3D. Wasn't the best one. So yeah, the had shattered like a lot of money. It had, like, you know, earned $1 billion with like its like last film, which was Saw X. Yeah, that one was kind of brutal. Yeah, the return of Jigsaw and Amanda drove the worldwide boxes of Socks to 111 million, bringing the franchise total box office of 128,720. Let's just say it's a lot of money. But then one of the films that still has the highest grossing in this franchise is Saw 3.
The criminal court judge, I say.
Looking back, I can see why. Yeah, that one was brutal. That was pretty brutal. But yeah, I mean, I can understand like why some people like looking back say, yeah, this is torture porn. But you can say, like, if you're a person that likes your horror films to have a bit of gore, yeah, the films will, like, you know, they will push it. Number 4 is the Andy Muschietti 2-part adaptation of Stephen King's novel It, which collectively pulled in $1,173,474,976. I'm not great when it comes to like saying all these humongous numbers. I apologize. At the world box office, and yeah, like say like, you know, like since, you know, it was a 2-parter. The first film dealt with, like, say, the Losers Club when they were kids. And, you know, they had a lot of scary moments, like, say, the time when, Pennywise jumps out of the projector screen, or, say, tick-tock, and others. There were some great moments from that film. But I do think the second film, like, when it comes back to it, the film is good. It has some scary moments, but at the same time, it also has some goofy moments to it.
Little secret. Should I tell them, Richie?
This isn't happening. This isn't real. This isn't real. It isn't happening. It isn't real.
Come back and play. Come back and play with the clown.
But yeah, like, it's a great film franchise. Looking back at it, not far from that one though. What is, like, when it comes to at number 3 though is the Resident Evil franchise. And yes, you're probably saying, like, say Resident Evil, the ones with Milla Jovovich. Yes, yeah, the film that franchise had over 10 films. So yes, and we can all say how, as the film went on, like, say, the memorable quality of, like, say, the fast editing and stuff kind of went downhill, but we cannot disagree when it comes to how much money the franchise would eventually bring in. Because the franchise started back in 2002 with the first film, ending in 2017, and the film franchise, overall, it has some great moments, whether it was the, like the laser tripwire scene.
Down! Get out!
Oh my God, Kaplan, there's something killing them in there! Hurry, you gotta...
Hurry up! Open the door!
Sequence from the original film, and also, like, when it comes to it, I think the film that I think, like, yeah, this was the most memorable to me, is in which Alice goes to, I think it was like, say, one of the last films, which had, like, a castle, and she's going up in the execution and all. All that, yeah, it's a franchise. Like, say, yes, we know editing not the best, fast editing and stuff, and sometimes you're going to say, what the heck am I looking at, kind of deal. But at the same time, we have to admit, like, say, yeah, it put in a lot of money. It even had Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, which added 42 million to that one, but the critic response was the greatest. And number 2 was Alien, the Alien franchise. Has over 10 films, and that recently we had the film Alien Romulus, and yeah, like, there was, like, say, quite a lot of them. Like, say, whether you're talking about the original classic film, or you're talking about, James Cameron's original Aliens.
There they go over there! Get them! Come on!
The film has a lot of films in it, and you can even, like, class in a bit of the 2 Alien vs. Predator films, and as well as the original Ridley Scott's Prometheus films, which they start off good and then suddenly, like, they have different perspectives on it. But the film franchise, it has a lot of them. And, like, looking back, yeah, I kind of liked the newest one. But it was pretty big. And, yeah, like, I kind of enjoy the film franchise. It's made back quite a lot of money. The most recent one, it made its money, but it probably wasn't, like, say, hey, yeah.
Run. People everywhere are screaming for Alien Romulus.
You guys are insane.
Alien Romulus.
Had scary moments. And number 1, though, was the highest grossing of all time, though. That's James Wan's The Conjuring universe, which includes, a lot of films. Includes, like, say, spin-off films with Annabelle the doll. Includes one with La Llorona, 2 films with the character of the Nun, and, like, at least 3 films with Ed and Lorraine Warren as the main group characters. And looking back, yeah, these films are pretty great. They have some of them have their moments of longevity when it comes to, like, say, yeah, this is scary.
Why not? What would be so wrong with going to heaven?
I'm not a hacking man.
Well, I got news for you, Bill. See, I don't care what you believe in. You see this?
And in a way said, hey, let's go back to the idea of doing time period pieces in kind of in a way like say, hey, horror films in the 80s or something like that. And yes, we can go on and on about like say, hey, some of these stories could be debunked and all that stuff, but we cannot disagree in the fact that the folks that were making these films, they knew what they were doing. They want to know, hey, let's make it scary, and at the same time make it fun to say, hey, let's get some butts into that seats. Because it seems like nowadays, that's what's needed. Because, I mean, people are going to the theaters. But, do you disagree? Are there any films that you'd think, like, say, that you're really kind of surprised about when it comes to highest grossing? See you next time.